I think the most exciting thing that has come out of all the neuroscience, brain science that's happened over the last 20 or so years is the knowledge that our brains are not fixed, that we can absolutely rewire our brains. And so when you think about making positive change, the trouble is that most people are just thinking about the conscious stuff and the conscious level, and they're not getting to the unconscious. But now we know that we can absolutely shift and change our unconscious patterns. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can literally rewire your own brain to create the positive change that you want and to shift unhelpful, disempowering patterns. In the work that I've been doing for more than 10 years, transformational work with women, it has been so exciting to me, and also through my own practices, in being able to see in myself and the women that I work with the results of these breakthroughs in neuroscience, this knowledge that we have now about neuroplasticity, which simply means the brain is malleable, it is changeable. Now, if you're thinking, oh yes, but I'm too old, well, that's not true either, because the plasticity of the brain is possible at any age, and I have seen first-hand evidence of this. In fact, some of the women that I have worked with are 70 and above, and they have been some of my best students. They have been some of the people where I have seen the most rapid and amazing shifts and changes. So any age, forget about what age you are, forget about this idea that I'm too old. It's not true. So I have been putting into practice rewiring my own brain in many different ways with amazing results, to the point where I can honestly say that I don't really recognize the old version of me, the past version of me. There are so many patterns, habits, and just ways of being that I have changed. And again, I've had the joy and the pleasure of seeing this in many other women, especially because I work predominantly with women, and it's just been such a joy and it's so exciting. Now, because of all these breakthroughs in neuroscience, there have been many modalities and techniques that have sprung up over the past, especially I would say in the past 10 to 15 years. There's more and more amazing modalities, techniques, and understandings about how to put this neuroscience, the rewiring of the brain, into application. But you could say that there are two main categories. There are two ways that we could categorize these methods. And one is the DIY, basically, where you can do it yourself. And typically these require awareness in the conscious mind awareness of what is going on in the unconscious. And it requires some dedication and it requires some repetition, but it absolutely works. So there's that DIY where we're largely using our conscious mind awareness to create change through awareness and repetition, and we can do this, and it takes some repetition, and we see change over time. And then there are a lot of modalities where we can go directly to the unconscious. Because here's the thing about all of this neuroscience and changing and rewiring old patterns, we are wanting and needing to get to the unconscious. So the first thing that we need to understand is that we have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind, but what is driving the majority of your thoughts and your behaviors is the patterns in the unconscious mind. And that's what we want to be. It's like, you can imagine in a garden, like pulling weeds up by the roots. If you don't get to those roots and you just stay at the conscious level, then nothing changes over time. And that's why when people create goals and intentions for the new year or whenever, they are operating at a conscious level with your intelligent conscious mind. You think about the changes that you want to make, and then you wonder why you don't do it. You wonder why you get stuck. And it's because we have beliefs rooted in the unconscious that are keeping things the same, keeping you operating at the same level. So with this little bit of understanding and awareness, we can begin to make amazing changes. So I'm going to explain a really simple 3-step process that you can use yourself to start to use that DIY approach. And then I'm also going to tell you about my favorite method for getting straight to the unconscious. And that's the second category that I was referring to. Now, the great thing about this second method, where we can use a modality to go straight to the unconscious, is that it's rapid. It doesn't have to take a long time. And when I discovered that there were ways that we could do it rapidly, I made it my mission to find the best and to train myself in the best modality I could to create that exciting, rapid change. And if you're thinking, oh, this would mean I would have to dredge up the past and relive old painful memories, no, it doesn't. In fact, while there are many modalities and therapies and practices that involve that kind of thing, where they're requiring the person to relive painful memories, try and know exactly why you have a particular behavior, this one that I'm going to tell you about doesn't require any of that. It's gentle, it's simple, easy, and rapid. And that's why I get so excited about it. So let me tell you first how you can literally rewire your brain in the DIY method. But there's one thing that you need to know to be able to do this, and that is the understanding that you are not your thoughts. This is really important, and typically we didn't grow up understanding this. You are not the voice in your head. You are not your thoughts. You can notice the thoughts, you experience thoughts, but you are so much more than your thoughts. So think of the vast sky as you. That's your consciousness. That's the essence of who and what you are. Consciousness, the whole sky. And then just think of thoughts as clouds in the sky. Thoughts just appear and they move on. Thoughts come and they go, okay? So when you understand that you just experience thoughts, thoughts just appear, that they are not you, then you're on your way to being able to do this 3-step process. So step number 1 is awareness. So think of those clouds as those thoughts. You notice, just like a cloud in the sky, you notice the thoughts. You have the awareness. So when you think about something that is really something you really want to change, a habit, a pattern of negative thinking, you might be aware that you have a belief about yourself that you're not good enough. Let's just use that one because that's a really common one. So let's say you're going to decide that you are going to start to rewire that pattern. And every time you notice yourself thinking a thought like, I'm so stupid, or something like that, you are going to become aware and you're going to catch it. So step 1 is awareness, just notice. Step 2 is use some compassionate curiosity, and this broadens that awareness. So you've caught the thought with your awareness, you've noticed it, it's not you, it's just a thought. And because you know it's not you and it's just a thought, you can get curiously compassionate about it. you can explore it without buying into it. You stop believing it and just accepting it as truth. So you go, I just had this thought. I'm so stupid. And with compassion and curiosity, you can explore how you feel in your body. You can notice, were there other thoughts, or what was the incident that caused you to think that? And just have that compassionate curiosity. And then step 3 is that you deliberately choose the opposite. So it might be that you deliberately say something to yourself that is the opposite. I'm amazing, and everybody makes mistakes. And I love myself anyway. I love and accept myself. It's easier for you to just say, I accept myself, right? The love yourself can come later, maybe, if that feels too hard, like too much of a stretch at this point. But the point is that you are catching it and you're shifting it. And then step 3, in some cases, will also involve an action. So if it's a particular habit that you're doing, you use step 1, awareness, step 2, compassionate curiosity, just explore it, like what's going on? How do I feel in my body? Let me just notice what seems to be creating or causing this. What else was I thinking and believing? And then step 3 is that you shift it with a conscious, different and opposite thought, and or maybe also a behavior. So you do something that's the opposite. So if you're thinking, I just feel so stuck, or I just can't, then you deliberately choose an action that is the opposite. Okay, so that in a very simple form is a 3-step process, which is one of the many ways in which you can rewire your brain. Every time you do something like this, you are choosing differently. You are allowing new neurons to fire in your brain. And with repetition, new synapses form, new pathways, new neural pathways. And it's like a well-worn path starts to become overgrown. That's the old way of doing things. And you start to forge a new pathway. One other way that you can DIY amazing change for yourself, and I've done this a lot, and that is by surprising your brain, stretching yourself and doing new things. So if you start a new hobby or you challenge yourself to do something different, I mean, one of the things that I can think of that comes to me most easily is the way that I now get in the water every single day. No matter the weather, I get in the ocean. The past version of me would have never done that. So I challenged myself. I stepped up to it even when it was uncomfortable, and it will be uncomfortable. So you've got to get a bit comfortable with discomfort. Stretch yourself and try something new and different. And you've got to know that the benefits of doing this go so far beyond the obvious benefits. So obviously, it's really enjoyable and it's fun, and I feel really good by getting myself in the ocean every day. But it's also changing my whole way of being. It's changing my identity so that I no longer identify as that person who makes the excuses, who says, oh no, I'm too cold, who is not comfortable with discomfort. It changes you on a deeper level that creates momentum for other positive change. So don't underestimate the power of changing things up, surprising your brain, and just doing things differently, even if it's with a beautiful new hobby or something that you would love to try. The benefits are amazing for rewiring your brain, changing your identity, and this does get to the unconscious level. It changes beliefs and it changes your identity. Right, so the second category of ways that we can rewire the brain is through a modality, working with a practitioner who is trained in a modality to create rapid transformation. Now, when I learned that this was possible, I set out to explore, to research what are the best and most effective methods out there. And I came across a modality many years ago that I ended up training in. The modality is called MAP. I met with the founder, Colette Stryker, and I was so excited about this modality after trying it myself and exploring it and realizing how incredibly effective and gentle it was that I trained in this modality. I have been using it now for years, and I've been using the modality with individuals, but especially in group situations, which is just wonderful because it's very private for people who can be on the other end of a call where I'm working with a group. They see me, but I don't have to see them. They don't have to share anything. They don't have to say anything. And the results have been absolutely amazing. And it's also very affordable for people to do this kind of thing and have this kind of amazing transformation in a group setting. And what I've done over the years is I have developed and refined and layered in a lot of my own other practices, energy work, coaching skills, so that I've really developed my own method with this. So I'm very excited to let you know that in February, I have a new masterclass coming up called Make It Happen. It's a 4-part masterclass series that I will be running live with the recordings available for ongoing access. So even if you can't make it live, it doesn't matter. You can catch it on the replay and have ongoing access. And what this series is all about is it's great for the start of the year or any time really. It's about helping you get unstuck where you know that you want to do something, but you have self-sabotage come up. So this can be in the form of overthinking, feeling like, I just can't make myself do it, letting procrastination or maybe perfectionism get in the way, all the ways that we sort of stop and block ourselves from succeeding at doing the thing we want to do. So this is about helping you to get really clear in your thinking and in your energy to be able to just know what you want to do and take action on it and clear the unconscious patterns that are preventing you from doing that. So I will pop a link below to the masterclass, and I hope that you will join me for this. And you can see on the page link some of the testimonials from my past students who have enjoyed other masterclasses that I have run before. So please know that you can change your brain. You can rewire unconscious patterns no matter your age. This is so exciting. And we've never lived in a time in regards to advances in neuroscience that's more exciting in this regard. Now that we have these breakthroughs, these understandings, and an amazing modality like the one that I'm trained in, where you can very effortlessly, easily, and rapidly create positive change. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.